So today's video is going to be about Arctic Fox in the color Neon Moon. My swatches are labeled 1 through 12, but that's not synonymous with hair levels. 1 is pink. I want to see if it'll turn like an orange color. 2 is a gray. 3 is a natural red. 4 is black. And then from 4 to 11, we have a range that goes to platinum blonde. And then number 12 is the toned version of number 11. These swatches are human hair, but the only one that is virgin hair is going to be the number 4 black swatch. The rest of them are not virgin hair. To start, I'll be putting the dye directly from the container onto the top of each swatch. And some people do like to dilute their dyes, so I'll be putting a diluted version at the bottom of each swatch, and I'll let you know the measurement for that as we go. Keep in mind that everyone's hair is different, so everyone's hair will take dye differently. So just use my video as a reference as to what it could possibly look like on your hair and not factual, for sure going to be exactly like the same. It's always a good idea to do as much research as possible when dyeing your hair, and doing things like strand tests are always a good idea as well. So if you're not aware, some information about one of the co-owners of Arctic Fox has been brought to light. I don't want to go into a lot of detail in my video because it's not what my video is about, but I strongly encourage you to look into it yourself and make a decision for yourself on what, your opinion is. So essentially, someone made a compilation of things that she said and done that are harmful to people of color, the LGBT plus community, and to animals. So personally, I've never followed any of her social media, so I really don't know how long ago these things happened, if they happened. And I don't mean that in that I don't think they happened. I just haven't seen a lot of proof, and I think a lot of the stuff that was mentioned is things that you'd have to kind of catch from following her for a long time. The way it sounded was like a lot of the stuff was kind of said in passing, but there are 2 things that I know for sure did happen, because the first thing she apologized for, which was her accidentally singing the N-word. And I don't know if that was on Instagram or Snapchat, and I don't know if that was live or if that was just a post that she made. So it makes me think that at the time, at least, she would casually sing the N-word in music and not filter herself, and then she accidentally did it while recording herself. Hopefully it's made her realize like it's not okay, and she needs to realize that she does need to filter herself, both on and off camera. And then the other thing is there's a video of her going through her tattoos, and one of her tattoos is a can of beans, and she says that is a representation of her Mexican friends. If you're not in the United States, I'm just going to say that's a reference to a slur about Mexicans. For the diluted section, we're going to be doing a 4-to-1 ratio. So that is 4 parts diluter and 1 part dye. So the post, in my opinion, seemed to cater more to the animal situation than the other things that she's done, which I don't know, I care a lot about animals too, but at the same time, I feel like her being at the very least racially insensitive is a pretty big deal. And the part in the post about that stuff was so small compared to the animal stuff. I don't want to criticize that person either. It's all kind of weird, but I learned through this that she has an Instagram and a YouTube for her animals. And it's one of those accounts where the creator has a boatload of animals, like you name an animal, she possibly will have it kind of thing. And then from there, people who've also had the same pets as her have been coming forward and claiming that she's not taking care of them properly. I mean, I love animals myself, but I learned early on that I mentally cannot handle taking care of a bunch of animals at the same time. So I understand why she has so many animals, but I also have never owned most of the animals, so I personally can't say whether or not I think she takes good care of them. She did come forward, and I think she said she has a zoologist that comes over and helps take care of her animals, but I don't really know how regular that is, and she seemed to not take the allegations very seriously. But I know that I personally, whenever I get criticized for something, on the outside, I'm very no, you're wrong. But on the inside, I do take it to heart. So I hope that at the very least, it's helped her look at herself and rethink the things that she's done or how she cares for her animals, and hopefully things change. I do believe people can change, so I'll still be featuring Arctic Fox on my channel. It's a situation kind of like recently with the whole Harry Potter thing. Sometimes you just have to separate the artist from the art, unfortunately. people aren't obligated to accept an apology. So what matters is change in how you act, and I just hope that is what happens with her. So now that I've got everything colored, I'm going to let them sit for about 3 hours. I'm going to rinse them out and then I'll let them dry, and after that I'll meet you back here. So with most dyes, even though they can dye different shades of hair, usually platinum blonde hair is the ideal. So on number 11, which was the platinum blonde, the dye definitely looks like straight up highlighter yellow. It is a slightly more green yellow though, and you can really tell that on number 12 and 2, but especially on number 2. Even in other lighting, to me, it just looks straight up green. Whereas number 12, you can still see some yellow in the hair. Funny enough, you can actually see a yellow tint on 5 and up. Obviously, you can see yellow on these, but for the brown ones, you actually can see a slight undertone difference. Hopefully, when we do the close-ups later, you'll be able to see that. It still looks brown, but there's almost like a halo of yellow. The direct dye portion for number 1 did turn orange, like I was hoping. I don't think 9 and 10 look bad, but in comparison to the number 11, obviously the 11 looks the best in terms of what the dye is supposed to look like. But I personally do think 9 and 10 look cool as well. It's just a different kind of look. So I haven't done a ton of yellows on my channel, so in terms of comparisons, I don't have a lot. But since this is an Arctic Fox dye, I figure we could start within Arctic Fox. So first comparison will be Arctic Fox in the color Cosmic Sunshine. This is comparable to number 12. This is comparable to number 11, 10, 9, and number 8. It's pretty clear that Cosmic Sunshine is a much more warm marigold-y type of yellow, especially compared to Neon Moon, which, like I already said, is slightly more green yellow. They are very different types of yellows, that's for sure. But yeah, I just thought I'd compare them so you could see the different undertones. The other comparison I wanted to do was Good Dye Young in the color Steal My Sunshine. This is comparable to number 12, number 11, number 10, number 9, and number 8. So Steal My Sunshine is definitely a lot brighter than the Cosmic Sunshine, but it still holds a little bit more warm toned in comparison to the Neon Moon. I remember when I was doing Steal My Sunshine, I really felt like the end piece here with the diluted section looked like a highlighter yellow, so I kind of want to flip them around. I think the Steal My Sunshine is just a little bit more pigmented, so even diluted, you get a very bright color. But it's kind of funny because I do feel like the diluted section for Steal My Sunshine is kind of similar to the Neon Moon by itself. From my perspective on my swatches, the Steal My Sunshine diluted does look very similar to Neon Moon. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but honestly, I feel like the biggest difference is that Neon Moon has a slight bit more green, but I don't know. When it's diluted, the Steal My Sunshine, I really kind of struggle to tell the difference for a lot of these. But maybe on camera it looks different. I guess I'll have to see in editing. So now that we're done with the comparisons, I wanted to get into the close-ups. After the close-ups, I will be showing a photo of these under a UV light. I tried doing it on camera last time, and it was kind of difficult, and I feel like the picture turned out a lot better. Also, the close-ups and some of the other photos at the end of the video will all be done in natural lighting, other than the UV picture, of course. Keep in mind, too, that trying to replicate the same exact environment with natural lighting can be difficult, so if anything looks slightly different, that's probably why. I really hope this video helped. If you have a request, I do have a link below to a Google form you can fill out. Just remember, I only do dyes that do not test on animals. Thank you to my patrons, and thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.